Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day. I'm back on the River Severn as I was yesterday. I did some live blogging. I enjoyed that. I do quite enjoy following the session through with updates. You can only do it though when it's the type of trip whereby you're not going to get too many fish. I couldn't do it on the brook fishing for the sticklebacks, for example, because there's lots of activity. I'm only there for a short time and I'm always holding the rod. But today, because I'm after big chub, I've got a nice chunk of bread on a size 6 hook. I know that it's not going to be fish after fish after fish. It would be nice if that were the case. I'd love to be proved wrong, but you have to be realistic. But what I find on this venue, as I said yesterday in the video and the blogging that I did, is that it's not a place where I catch many chub when I fish with bread. When I do, they tend to be a good size. I said that and then I caught what was relatively a small fish. However, it was the one chub that kept me on the right side of blanking. So I'm back today and I'm going to see if I can catch something bigger. Beautiful day, very spring-like. As I left home, 2 robins together, they paired up and one was picking up bits of grass. So the early stages of the breeding season, as far as they're concerned, hopefully, and you can't say for sure, hopefully we do turn the corner as far as the cold spell is concerned. However, we're still in January, let's not get carried away. February to come, that's a short month, and then we'll be into March. And 12 weeks today, I'll be 60. I'm counting down the weeks. Making my way to the water's edge, I was listening to Bayside Radio, Thursday afternoon angling slot on the Jeff Pearson show. That was quite good. I enjoyed doing that, encouraging people, chatting about angling, inspiring folks as well. And we do try and get some tips in, and today, I will list the tackle in the blog entry that this video goes with. You can find that, by the way, in the comments box if you're watching on YouTube. And then I've got just 1/4 of an ounce lead. That's 6-pound line. It goes right the way through. A bead, a shot, size 6 Drennan Super Specialist. And you can see the bread. I've moulded that there around the shank, but more importantly, plenty of hook point showing. That's important because when you connect with a fish, you don't want the hook point masked with bread. I'm fishing just off some willows, and while I'm here, I'll show you my bread mash. That's nice and sloppy. I will put a little bit of brown crumb in though, just to firm it up and put a nice trail of bait out, an enticing trail of breadcrumb with bread on the hook that hopefully today will bring me a nice chub into the back of the net. That's the plan anyway. Probably hear the gunshots there on the far bank, some people shooting ducks. They are here regularly and they are terrible ambassadors for shooting. If ever you were sitting on the fence as far as shooting's concerned, when you see what they do, you would most definitely be taken on the other side. They shoot, and I don't know if you shoot, you must really go for something that you have pretty much 100% chance of killing. But they'll shoot at anything that moves. Birds drop in the water, wounded, make their way across to this far bank, and then you'll see them for hours afterwards just flapping around, maybe in the trees they're hanging over the edge of the water while they die. And I think I'm an angler, and it's so important that me and other fishermen as well represent our sport, our pastime, our hobby, whatever level you're at, in a positive way, especially as far as the general public is concerned. And I don't like to see the birds flapping around like that and dying slow, cruel deaths. It's not nice to see at all. But if you were someone perhaps who had an open mind, you might look at that and you might actually be totally against shooting It's a reminder, isn't it, to all of us, whatever we do, not just fishing or shooting, but whatever we do, we're actually ambassadors for the sport, the pastime, the hobby that we enjoy. There's a female mallard just alongside me in the willows, been hit at a distance, dropped on the water and made its way there, and will stay there until it dies a slow and painful death. As far as the fishing is concerned, it's quite slow, but the sun's dropped over the ridge on the far bank. Hopefully they'll go soon, and then I can have some peace and quiet and maybe get a fish on the bank. The tiniest of taps then on the rod, you'd have thought that it was a 2-ounce roach maybe picking at the bait. However, I struck and I'm into a very good fish. It's a fantastic bend. This is where, if I had a film crew, you get the full effects. Anyway, I'm going to stand up now and hopefully I will be back with this fish that I'm playing. Here it is. Still light as well, so I can get a nice shot for my blog entry. That's a nice big chub. Just the one chub, but I'll tell you what, I'm more than happy with that fish. Saw my first bat of the year as well, a Benton's at dusk, feeding over the water. It got quite chilly once the sun set, and I'll tell you what, whoever invented the car heater, I salute you, because that's what I'll have on in a moment, full blast, when I'm driving home. Frank posted on my YouTube channel in the comments box about Calamity Jane, because I did a blog entry on that yesterday, and he said he remembers going to see that as a child, and also Bambi. And Frank, I remember Bambi. My dad took me to the Clifton in Sedgley, where I lived for most of my adult life, actually until recently, and he bought me an inflatable Bambi. I took it home with me. It was blown up, took it to bed with me, and I woke up in the morning. Who killed Bambi? I did, because I squished him, and I was so upset that I killed Bambi. Rolled over and woke up, and all I had in bed with me was a piece of plastic. Great memories there. And I'm going to watch Calamity Jane again tonight with my wife, because we hired it and we still got one day left on the hire. Plus I've got some work to do as well. Not too much though. These past couple of days have been very light, hence why I've been chub fishing on the River Severn. But tomorrow back to work, and well, I'll still do some fishing in the morning, but local. If you are out and about yourself this week, tight lines, and I'll see you soon.